I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of The Shooting Show. And yes, friends, if you're watching this today, that means we're on one more time. As we're taping this on Wednesday afternoon, I don't know if we'll get to use it or not, but we're going to go on and tape a show, and hopefully we will get on. And yes, if you're watching us now, that means we did. We got in enough cash from our viewers, enough contributions to get on the air. And you know, some people might say, boy, Johnny, well, heck, you ought to have more pride than that. Well, you know what? They'd be wrong, because they're not on television fighting for the literal rights that we have passed down to us by our founding fathers. You know, this is more than a personal thing. We're fighting for the future of our country. We're fighting for the future of us as gun owners. We're fighting for, say, your wife or your sister or your girlfriend or you yourself is walking across a dark parking lot, and you're surrounded by gang members, and you're about to be robbed and beaten or maybe raped or killed or who knows whatever else, and you can take out your handgun and say, hey, not today, not today, to those gang members. And see, if you have a handgun, you can do that. And as long as we have firearms, whether handguns or rifles or shotguns, whatever else, the New World Order, which is real, friends, the global unionist. You know, Ted Turner here in Atlanta is giving, or over in Atlanta is giving the United Nations $1 billion. Ted Turner doesn't think that the rest of us out here are smart enough to deserve to live in a free country. That's what they think, friends. That's the mindset these folks have. Yeah, that's why we're fighting to stay here. Yeah, I see that as good enough reason to set pride aside, set whatever aside, and go for it. It has to be done. On television, every day, we as gun owners, we as a lot of us are Christians. All of us that watch this show are not Christians. We're glad you watch the show anyway. But anyone who's from a group who believes in the founding principles of the United States, regardless of what religion or anything else you are, we're all under attack. Because the communists are alive and well, friends. The socialists are alive and well in Washington, D.C., in some of the ivory towers in New York, and some of the other cities in Paris, London, around the world. They're alive and well. You know what? Socialism and communism has failed every time it's been tried. It's been tried all over the world. It has been a disaster for the people, the citizens of the country. You know, the only people who prosper under socialism and communism, you know, the only people that prosper are the people in charge. The people at the very top, the people already with the big money, the people who control manufacturing, the people who control militaries and governments. They always do great. But that's just a few, friends, because they have all of us out there working. We're losing our country. And we're talking every chance we get, every time we can get on television or on radio, because we feel the hope that we have is to alert and hopefully wake up as many Americans as possible. That's why we're here. That's why we fought so hard to stay on the air. You know, same thing, I'll tell you the same thing I did last week. Right now, we cannot be on next week because we don't have the money. Somebody called me this past Monday, a couple of days ago, as we're taping this, said, Johnny, what about this week? I said, don't have it. I said, how much money you got? None. Well, so why not laugh about it? Because, you know, there's no need in getting all down, and, you know, we have a good show. We still don't have any money. That's all right. We have other things. And somehow or another, and as we're doing this, we'll be talking to Leroy Scott later on in the program day. We'll talk about just how we got on this week. But see, every time we can get on the air, the socialists who control major media, that control so many major newspapers, that control so many radio and TV stations, we're taking one more swing at them. You know, we're punching them one more time. And my thought is, friends, if, you know, years ago I've told this story several times, and the good stories need to be retold occasionally. You know, we're out here on the farm in the country, and my father was a very astute person as far as common sense, and he had great vision and so many things. I'm sorry you folks never got to meet him, but anyway, he taught me a whole lot before he left this earth, and a lot of that, those things he taught me is how we've been able to stay on the air, just not quitting. But you know, we used to go out and cut wood. And I don't know of any of you who've ever split wood, but sometimes out here in northwest Louisiana, we'd have a tree, maybe be a block of wood, you saw it would be just all you cut through one side, come back, cut the other side. Just all you could do. You may have a block of wood so big, huge thing. And my father used to say, son, go over there and hit that in the center with that axe. I said to him, what in the world? I mean, that thing is like cast iron. He said, no, go hit it. And you take that axe, you take it up there and you hit it, bang, and the axe will just bounce off. It's just like had a little mark on the tree block there. It's just like it was grinning at you. And you take it over there and you hit it again. Boom! And I told my father, I said, look, we're getting nowhere fast. I mean, this thing, it's not working. He said, son, keep on hitting the tree. Keep on hitting. Well, after a while, keep on hitting that tree, and guess what? Instead of the axe bouncing off, you'd hear a slightly different sound. Wouldn't be a lot. Instead of it just thump, coming back up, it would be a thunk. Oops, axe didn't come as high. And you hit it in that same spot again, maybe another couple of times, and then the whole thing would break open just like that. And you go around and split it just as easy. Now, friends, that's the background that a lot of us have. I'm not the only one. A lot of you have a similar background. You can identify with that. And you go up there and you hit it a few times and just nothing happens. Well, you see, that's the way it seems so many times to us as gun owners, us as free Americans. We're tapping away. It seems like we work so hard and we lose an election and we lose another one, but we keep trying. And friends, I'm here today, and I don't know how many chances I'll get to tell you this. I don't know how many more chances, maybe not another chance for a while, because if we go off the air, we're going to try and get back on the air. But if we keep working at it, the majority of the citizens, not subjects in this country, the majority of the citizens in the United States feel like you and I. All we have to do is get the message to them and say, look, don't give up. Don't give up. The race is not over. This game is not through. Even though it doesn't look like we're making much headway, who the heck knows? We may eventually split that stump, and the only way we're going to do it is to keep trying. We cannot give up. As long as you or I have breath in our lungs, as long as our heart beats, and we refuse to be a subject, the New World Order people, the global unionist people, the United Nations people, the Clinton associates in Washington, D.C., cannot control us. They can't take us over. Hey, we're on TV today. We're on nationwide. And you Clintonians, you socialists watching, hey, we're not going to quit. And I'm not speaking just for me. I'm speaking for millions of Americans out there who care, who do care. Right now, most of the conservative message that any of us get, or most of it, comes across radio, because the television companies are so tightly controlled, you can't get anything conservative on. As I said recently, Rush Limbaugh had one of the most popular TV shows in history. One of the most popular shows in history. He was so dangerous, and Rush doesn't go very far, friends. There's a whole lot of stuff Rush won't even touch. He won't even touch it. But you know what? That conservative message, people were so hungry to see it. Just like our programs. We've been kept on by you viewers. Our sponsors have helped some. My goodness, we appreciate all the work they've done, but it hasn't been nearly enough. And those of you out there watching, and we're appealing to the toughest audience as far as contributions, the toughest audience on the face of the earth. Most conservative people are conservative in everything they do, mostly in their pocketbook. That's one of the reasons we're in the mess we're in today, is because so many of the good conservatives who have money, can't part with it. They say, oh my gosh, we got to hold on. Well, friends, let me tell you what. If you're holding your money for a rainy day, the clouds are above. It is raining right now. It's raining on us as free Americans. It is storming. And if you're saving that money for a rainy day, this is it. Now, you want to help us stay on the air, because every week we're on, we reach more people. Every time that this is broadcast on that satellite, 22,000 miles in space, we reach more people and more converts. We absolutely do, friends. And you know what? If we had more money, if we had more, we could buy more TV time. If we did, we can get on more. And eventually we can get enough sponsors, those that develop a little backbone, and there's some out there, we just have to find them, that have enough backbone to stand up with us. Because you know what? The government can't put everybody out of business. If they put everybody out of business, they won't have any money, no income. Then they'll have to manufacture all their money. They'll have to print it all. If they put us all out of business, they can't do it to us all, friends. They can't lock us all up. And you know what? If we stand now, they can't take away all our guns. They don't have enough people to do it. There's not a big enough army worldwide right now because there's too many of us that have guns. We're still armed. We're still free Americans. They can't do it. But you know what? They got to be stopped now. And it's not going to be done next week. It's not going to be done next year. But we've got to make the effort now or we're going to lose it all. You know, we're going to lose everything. There won't be anything left as far as freedom to pass down to your children or their children. And I just never, you know, I just never wanted to look out through a fence somewhere like those folks did in World War II in Nazi Germany. You know, they looked out at the fence and they saw their families being taken away. They saw the little kids with soldiers walking behind them with machine guns, and they were taking them away. Now, do you want to see something like that? I don't think so. It doesn't have to come to that. It doesn't have to be that way, but it's already been that way this century among civilized people. That's where we are, friends. We got a great show for you today. I'm so thankful we can be here one more time. If you want to help our project, if you want to help keep us on the air, we had some folks call last week that had indicated they wanted to loan us part of the money we need to develop our cartridge. We have probably the handgun cartridge of the decade here that we've been able to develop thanks to some good friends, and it was certainly my idea, but I had to have help put it together. And we appreciate everyone who has helped on the project. Our good friend Richard Binkowski with Kimber, Clark Custom Guns, Curtis Shipley, and Larry down at Georgia Arms. We appreciate their help so much. And there are others. My good friend Bill Lewis, who has certainly been helpful in helping put it together. And how many others you want to talk about? You know, but certainly people that had a direct effect on our cartridge here. And we have something we can sell, friends. Again, if we go off the air, it's okay. It's not okay, but I have to accept that. If we go off the air, we can sell the new combination with our gun. It literally turns a 1911, or for that matter, a little Black Hawk, and we're working on a rifle. We're working on that now. And we have a new gun to show you today, the 625 Smith & Wesson, except this is not a 45 ACP. It's our new Rowlands cartridge. And it turns, again, a full moon clip fed revolver, instantly loaded, the full moon clip there into a 44 Magnum power class handgun that with our defense load is way beyond any 357 and faster to shoot, certainly as fast to shoot as 357, much more power. But if you prefer revolvers, we have the conversion that we've worked up for the 625 Smith & Wesson, the 45 ACP Smith & Wesson. Incidentally, this gun will still shoot the 45 ACP, and our cartridge will not chamber in a 45. A 45 will certainly, with full moon clips, to go in this gun. But we did that for safety reasons, because you can't chamber it in a regular 45. You have to have our special chambering. In the case of this 1911, you have to have our barrel and compensator. But everyone seems to think, we had so many calls after the last week's program, everyone seems to think it is a great idea. And you see, friends, if we could make $100 a gun on these, we could clear maybe $50 on our conversions. And we sold 1,000 guns, that's $100,000. We see that's more money than it takes to keep our show on all year long. For one solid year, that's more than enough to keep our program on. So you see, maybe in our gun combination here, our new Rowlands cartridge, and certainly the Kimber conversions, the Ruger Black Hawk conversions for the 45 ACP cylinder, and for the 625 Smith & Wesson. And like I said, we're working on the rifle. Don't know yet, but it sure works great in these handguns, as we told you last week. So if you'd like to loan us a little money, we need to put together about $10,000. We've been promised part of it. I don't know how much we will have, but if you'd like to help and get the show on the road, you know, so to speak, you certainly can. You can consider loaning us a little money if you can donate to keep our project on the air. Because, friends, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about how much fun shooting is. We're going to try to educate people on gun safety. We're going to look at more shooting competitions. We're going to look at all kinds of different guns. That's what we want to do, see? That's what we want to continue doing, is shooting and showing people on TV. Will you help us? Will you help us? Our address, of course. Will you join our GRA, our Gun Owner Rights Association? It's $50 a year. Our address, The Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. Certainly keep our phone number, friends. Please keep our address, keep our phone number, because I don't know. See, right now, this is just week to week. Somehow we made it this week. And I hope we can be on next week, but right now we don't have money. Now, we hope that'll change. I don't know. But if you can help us, please do. Let's take our new Rowland cartridge and let's look at, we'll do an intro with this today, and just to refresh you on just what this thing looks like on as far as impact goes. Let's start and open another shooting show. Yeah, it's potent.
Stay tuned for more of The Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, here it is. This is the great Georgia Arms 45 DA Colt or double action Colt cartridge. This is the first major improvement on the Colt 45 since 1873. They have this in loaded cowboy ammunition. They're also selling brass, so you can load your own combinations. This cartridge case is absolutely a joy to work with. We're even seeing improved accuracy, we think due to the slightly larger rim on our 45 DA Colt case. You can get a free catalog, or you can order these from Georgia Arms, 1-800-624-6861 for their entire lineup, and please tell them you saw it here on our show. Now, friends, of course, the cowboy load is mild but super accurate. And of course, you can take your hand loads up to the limit of what the loading manuals will allow. The great 45 double action Colt cartridge from Georgia Arms. Give them a call today, friends. A free phone call with a free catalog.
And remember, Georgia Arms also has ammunition for whatever handgun cartridge you might need, or whatever handgun, or certainly rifle. They have 270, 30-06, 7mm magnums, just whatever you might need. They have the best ammunition, and I don't see how they do it. I don't see how they keep their prices down low, but they do. And remember, they've been very courageous supporting this project. So, friends, please call them and get a free catalog. It's great reading. You'll enjoy it. And please tell them you saw it here on our show.
Friends, it's getting a little later this afternoon, but hopefully our light's going to hold up for us. This is important. We want to show you. Again, talking about our new cartridge, and we hope to have sales in this sometime in January, which is not long. And if I don't get to see you again before Christmas, and maybe we will next week, maybe we won't, don't know, but certainly hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas and holiday season. It's not Winter Festival, it's Christmas. Christmas and New Year's. That's what the celebration's about, and certainly hope you have a great one. Anyway, we want to demonstrate, so many people are concerned about what load they should have for defense. Someone was out here on the farm the other day, and it was a deer hunter with one of my sister's family, somebody from that group, and I saw he was carrying a handgun, and I said, well, what kind of handgun? He said 9mm, and then I said, well, could I see the bullets? And he said, yeah, and he had some full metal jacket 9mm. I said, well, to finish off a downed deer, a wounded deer, maybe with a headshot, something like that, with a 9mm, he said, that's probably a good choice. Now, Kitty, you're not going to like that. You folks can't see it. We got one of the cats here. I shoot time or two, he'll go. Anyway, he said, yeah, that's his home defense gun, was that 9mm with full metal jacket ammo. And I said, well, tell you what, it'll certainly punch a hole through something, but it would have no shocking power at all. And I said, if somebody is attacking you or your family and you shoot them with that, they may not even know they've been shot. And they may not, it may not get their attention to the point they'll quit what they're doing. And yeah, they might pass away at some point, but it may be after they have brutalized you or your wife, or if you're a single mother or head of household, it might be, by the time they quit hurting you, well, it may be too late. So one of our ideals here has been to come with a defense load of 185 grain jacketed hollow point, running about 1,350 feet per second. And you can shoot this with our compensated, our kit here on our Kimber. You can shoot this as fast as you can a regular .45. And we have our pro timer here. And let's run one. You get to watch how difficult it is or is not to shoot, and we'll time it. And what we'll do is we'll time 5 shots, and we'll just see with our defense load of how rapidly. And you see, my thought was on the design on this cartridge to have something that would be easy to shoot, as easy as a hot 9mm or a 40 caliber, certainly as easy as a .357, but would hit much, much harder. And that's what we've done. So let's take a look. We'll see if we're loaded. Yes, we are. Let's take a look. We're going to run 6 shots through this gun and a couple of others we have here. And let's just see, watch the gun in my hands and how controllable it is. Let's see how long it takes. And we'll compare it to something else. So we'll time 5 shots, and we'll have the gun up ready to go, and the timer will start me, and we'll do it. Okay. 1.20 seconds. Now you notice you didn't see a lot of muzzle rise. I only had 6 in the gun there. You didn't see all that muzzle rise because of our combination. So 1.2 seconds, let's see. The first one came, my reaction time was 29/100ths of a second. And then 45, so 29 off 120 would be, what, about 91/100ths of a second. So that was 5 shots in 91/100ths of a second. Now then, let's take our .357 Magnum and realize our defense load in our new Rowland cartridge in the 1911 is over 700 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. That's a lot of thump, friends. Easy to shoot. And you police officers out there, I tell you what, if you're concerned about those one-shot stops, because the first shot, one shot may be all you get, that's certainly something you ought to take a look at. In fact, I don't know if we'll get a chance to show you this. We got 3 in one hole, about 1.5 inch group, and I'll let one get away from me there. Well, let's try the same drill running the hottest .357, but this is running about 500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, so quite a bit less than our defense load on our Rowland cartridge. Let's see what it does. Okay, with the hot ammunition, of course, it's me this afternoon, my hand's a little cold. 1.6 seconds. So the first shot was, let's see, number one was a 2800. So I had the same reaction time, essentially 2800ths of a second first shot. So we're talking about 1.32 seconds. Now these figures may not mean much. Okay, so we're talking about 0.4 of a second faster for 5 shots with our conversion on our semi-automatic on the 1911. Now friends, that's a bunch. 0.4 of a second is in fact a bunch. That's a long time. So it just goes to show how controllable, and our group was bigger. Now then, you say, well, Johnny, that's the difference in the semi-automatic and the revolver. That's true. You can shoot a semi-automatic a little faster. Most of us can. Jerry Mitchell can shoot one at lightning speed, but let's take our defense load in our new converted 625 and realize we're dealing with much more power than a 357, talking 700 foot-pounds of muzzle energy per shot versus 500. And let's just see how our cartridge does. This is approximating, actually, even our defense load is a pretty good 41 Magnum load. This is no joke. Okay. And let's see what it does in our 625. Our revolver, the 357, took 1.32 seconds. Again, we have much more power we're dealing with here. And let's see what it does. Okay. 1.51 seconds. So we're 1/10 of a second faster than our 357, 1/10 of a second faster, but with a lot more power. And I want to show you something. Let's see what our first shot was. First shot was at 2700ths. So we're talking 151 minus 27 ought to be 51 minus 27, 11 minus 7 would be 1.24. And that's somewhere around right. But let's come in with the camera. I want you to see the group that our Smith & Wesson shot right here. Let's see if we can come in on that. Now here's the group we just shot in 1.5 shots in 1.24 seconds with our new Rowland cartridge. Now look, here was the 357 group here. Our group with the semi-automatic was good. I let one get away from it. Our others were right here. So you see, friends, how easy it is to control even in the revolvers and running as quick as I can run a revolver. Okay, let's try the same drill. We have some 44 Magnums here, 44 Magnum class bullets, and let's see how that looks. Turn our target back around. Let's try our 44 Magnum class revolver here, certainly the power cartridge, and again with a comparable energy level to what we're doing, maybe a little hotter than our defense load, maybe a little. Let's just see what it does briefly. It's getting late enough, dark enough, you may be able to see the muzzle flash here. Oops, here we go. It hurried on me there. Let's see what we get. Woo! Did you see that? Well, our group was good because these Rugers are very, very controllable. Our group was good, but it took 1.72 seconds. So see, we slowed down quite a bit with our heavier load there. So let's see what it was. Difference on one. It's 0.3 of a second, so 1.40 seconds for 5 shots. So we're quite a bit slower. Now then, you're saying, well, Johnny, what about the, for real, isn't that neat how they just pop out of there like that? No pressure signs. Let's see if we've got, let's use our 900 foot-pounds of muzzle energy in our revolver here. And this will actually be hotter than the load in the 44 Magnum class gun there. this will actually be stronger. So these are 900 foot-pounds of muzzle energy in the revolver. Let's see what it does. It's going to be a little stouter. Our defense load 700, our hot load around 1,500 feet per second or 185. We're looking at over 900 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Here we go. Okay, pretty good group. 1.51 seconds, let's see, quarter of a second, so 1.25. It took me a hundredth of a second. Only took me a hundredth more of a second with our load because of the dramatically reduced recoil. And I'll tell you what, friends, that's the barn burner there. With actually more power than this particular 44 Magnum class load. And you see you can shoot it quite a bit faster because you just don't have the recoil. Now you had some, you certainly had some, but you could watch it. What you're able to do here is watch it in my hands and see how it's performing. So my whole point of this is to show just how controllable and the potential that these guns have. It's really a whole new class of cartridge. It will open up a whole new area for those of us that depend on handguns, whether it's a hunting handgun or for home defense. And certainly for those of us who are shooting those bowling pins, the less recoil, it means you can get to the next bowling pin quicker. The lesser amount of recoil you have, you can get to the next target. And that's very important. You know, my own feeling was that the 45 ACP for someone that wants a more powerful gun is just a little bit light. Well, our cartridge solves that in the 1911, and as we said earlier, we're going to show some of the demonstration we used last week. That was very popular on our program from last week. I hope we get on a reloading segment today. I hope so. But just to give you an idea of just how the cartridges stack up against each other, we wanted to show you that today, and I tell you, there's nothing else out there like it. Certainly in the size package, you can equal the power certainly in a big revolver. You can. There's some of the huge or much larger automatics you can equal the power with, but you can't do it in anything like the size package and it still be shootable. So if you'd like to help on our cartridge, you got our address. We certainly would appreciate any help we can get because we definitely we need it, friends.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. And we want to mention the good folks at Clark Custom Guns in Princeton, Louisiana, one of the most complete gun shops in the entire United States. They do all sorts of things like this specialty meltdown on this new STI gun. Also, they have an excellent staff of people to help you with guns such as these Benelli Super Black Eagles taking 3.5-inch magnums, a complete line of handguns, semi-automatics, revolvers, all sorts of neat things in the shop there. And of course, here's Mr. Jim Clark himself out helping a customer, some of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. They have a complete line of loading supplies, loading tools, gunpowder, you name it, primers, all sorts of accessories for your guns, whatever you might need, certainly within reason. Here's Kay Clark Michalik when she's not winning championships, back working there in the office. And here's her husband, Jerry Michalik, the fastest revolver shooter in the world, when he's not winning championships at work. Here's Jim Clark Jr. back on the lathe, the same drill, when he's not winning championships, working right there in the shop. That's why you can get such complete quality of product and expertise here at Clark Custom Guns. Friends, give them a call today, area 318-949-9884. They have a great catalog. We appreciate them supporting our project. Now, friends, we're going to go back and look at a couple of excerpts from last week's program. Look at the chronograph here. You see those numbers there. It's 1,539 feet per second. Now, this is velocity that we're getting from our 185 grain bullet out of a 1911 gun, or 1911 style gun, certainly. We're getting similar velocity figures from the Ruger Blackhawk and from the Smith & Wesson Model 625. And the demonstration here is important just to show what this cartridge is capable of, essentially giving 1,500 plus feet per second with a 185 grain bullet, 1,400 plus with a 200 grain bullet, a defense load at about 1,350 that is very light recoil, certainly for what it does, and the 230 grain bullet running at over 1,300 feet per second. So essentially 4-inch 44 Magnum revolver performance in a 1911 very compact style gun. So let's look at a couple things we did last week. And let's watch what happens when we shoot this 1,500 feet per second bullet into those water bottles. Watch this. Now, friends, you see it just literally shredded the first water bottle. But look here. Of course, it blew up the second, but guess what? Our bullet is completely, let's see, our bullet is completely expanded and did not go through the second water bottle because of the breakup and expansion of that bullet. So we don't have over penetration unless we want a bullet style that will penetrate. Now let's say we want penetration. Maybe we want to stop that bear that may be chasing us on the lake up there or the river in Alaska. Maybe we need penetration. So let's take a landscape timber, very tough treated lumber, several inches thick, and let's lean it up against this water bottle right here. Get it where it'll stay. And let's shoot the landscape timber and see what happens. Got one of our full metal jacket loads here. All right, let's take a look, friends. Clear through the landscape timber, in and out, all the way through, in and definitely out on the water bottle. So see, we have tremendous penetration if we so desire. Just for fun, since we're here, let's see what our new cartridge, our new Rowland cartridge does to. Let's try concrete blocks with our high-powered load. Let's see what happens, just to show the power that this thing has. Quite a bit, actually. Now then, let's try another block with our
deer hunting load, which would probably be the 200 grain bullet at about 1400 or so, 1440. See how the block fares with it. Now, friends, you can tell why I'm so excited about this cartridge concept. We have a special package, quite a bit of engineering has gone into this, and we thanks to all our friends. And of course, I've worked real hard on this for quite some time, and it is very durable. Certainly, these guns are very rugged, and we engineered it so it won't destroy the gun. So it is certainly safe, super accurate. We've been getting groups of 1.5 inches all the way down to, with one of the loads we tried, slightly under 1 inch with this custom package here. And these guns are going to be reasonably priced. They're not going to be outrageous in cost. They're going to be reasonably priced. So my whole point here is, if you would like to help on our cartridge concept, we need to put together about $10,000 to do it, and that will buy a large number of cases. That'll get us started in loading. It will do our promotion for us. If you'd like to help, we certainly need your help. And as Leroy Scott, hopefully he'll be on the program a little later today. We'll talk about it briefly, but it is just a fantastic cartridge. 44 Magnum power in very compact, very shootable guns. Again, it feels like about half the recoil. I tell you, let's just load one up just for fun. Here is a comparable 44 Magnum load, and let's take our let's just take one of the energy wise, these are very close. Let's take one of the 230 grain. These are running 1300 in this little Black Hawk, and let's just look at them. These are comparable loadings. Here's our full-size Super Black Hawk 44 Magnum. Watch it in my hands. Now watch what it does. Okay, quite a bit of recoil muzzle blast. Look at our little Black Hawk. Theoretically, kick would be much more than in the bigger gun. Watch. See that? It's unbelievable. And none of us are exactly sure why, but we just know it works. And this is something that I think a lot of people are going to want. We're looking at our conversion for the Black Hawks, and it looks good on the Smith & Wesson 625 revolver. Then you can load with full moon clips. You can shoot your 45 ACP or come with a new cartridge. We just have to chamber for it. So, and the good news is all the loading equipment you have now, if you have 45 ACP loading equipment, you'll be able to use it. It's very simple to just take some different adjustments. And I'll tell you what, friends, it's going to be inexpensive. There's no other package like this. There's no other cartridge that we're aware of that has the capabilities this thing does. And if you'd like to help on the new Rowland cartridge, and the reason we're calling it the Rowland cartridge is, doggone it, we're not going to let some big company, because I'm sure some of the larger companies will start chambering for it. You'll see some gun companies chambering, and this way they can't take it away from us. At least it's going to have my name on it, so they'll know where, the people that buy it will know where it originated, and that will help our project. That will help our whole television project. So, friends, if you'd like to help on it, well, please give us a call. Let's talk about it, because I don't know if we'll be on again next week, but we wanted you to see this before we possibly went off the air. And it's just, like I say, it's just phenomenal. All right, friends, we have a jacketed high-velocity 45 automatic. It's going to break our water bottle. Let's see what it does. Hey, it broke it. But now let's take our new cartridge. Let's just use the little Black Hawk this time. Go ahead and chamber this gun here. Let's see how that same diameter bullet looks moving 1,500 feet per second. Looks a little different, doesn't it?
Stay tuned for more of The Shooting Show. We'll be right back.
The Shooting Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. Friends, you're looking at two of the finest semi-automatic handguns ever built by any factory. These are great Kimbers, a full-size blue model, and the stainless compact. Now, you can get any of these Kimbers from us, or if you find one in your local gun shop, trust me, these are the finest 1911s, the finest semi-automatic pistols ever built by a factory. They are very reasonably priced. If you'd like to get a wholesale Kimber from us, if you're a dealer, you can give us a call or write to us at our Shooting Show address, or certainly one of the Shooting Show guns. They make several different styles, including a polymer frame wide gun or wide body gun. But whatever your choice may be, please give us a call, or please take a look at the Kimber next time you're in your local gun shop.
I'm proud to be an American, thank God our country's strong. But some time ago, you know, it occurred to me, there's something going wrong. My granddad fought against tyranny so we could all be free. I'm afraid, my friends, his fight has passed down to you and me, down to you and me. We got people telling us what to do that don't even know our name. We're just a number on some little card, and I think that's a shame. If George and Abe could see us now, bet they'd both agree this is not exactly what they had in mind. The land of liberty, sweet land of liberty. Oh, I love to hear my Harley run. I like being free to live out my dreams, and I want to have a little fun. I want to hold on to what we've got, from sea to shining sea. I'm afraid, my friend, the fight is past, down to you and me. Oh, down to you and me. Politicians and bureaucrats all telling us what to do, and they don't seem at all concerned about what they put us through. They tax and spend like there's no end, throw it all away. Just keep in mind there'll come a time when nobody's left to pay. Well, nobody's left to pay. There's people that wanna lock us up just to keep us away from harm. They want a police state to give us orders, but they can get us unarmed. There's folks that say they know the truth, well, they saw it on TV. We got some boys on Capitol Hill, don't wanna have us free. No, they don't wanna have us free. My Harley run. I like being free to live out my dreams, and I wanna have a little fun. I wanna hold on to what we've got, from sea to shining sea. I'm afraid, my friends, the fight is past, down to you and me. Well, down to you and me.
Well, friends, we hope you're enjoying our program today. We are so thankful to be here with you today. Last week, when we did the last program, we certainly didn't know, and same situation for next week. We're here by the well-known skin of our teeth. But it's exciting, and to show our new cartridge and gun combination, we needed to do that because, friends, this could be a way that could ensure our broadcast future. No one has anything like this right now, not the power and the shootability or the ease of shooting in such a compact package. And a lot of folks who have been working with us on this are very excited. And of course, now that we have it in the revolvers too, we can do conversions on the 625 Smith & Wesson and the Ruger Black Hawk. And I tell you what, this full moon clip with our new cartridge, that's pretty neat how that works. And for those shooters out there that want the ultimate speed of loading a revolver and also want the power, well, in the past, friends, heck, on the Magnum revolvers, they do kick, they recoil. And what we have is stopping power available that is controllable and just doesn't beat your hand to death. So it's a really new concept. And if somebody can help us on this, we've gotten part of what we need in, but we don't have nearly enough. So if you'd like to help us on our new cartridge, you certainly can by, if you would like to loan us, or loan the project some money. We've got to put together about $10,000, and we flatly don't have that or anything near that amount, but we have a little. We certainly have part that, and those folks that helped on this so far, we appreciate it, because you know what? We hope there are some others out there who will also help us. The judge could not be with us this afternoon. He had a recent automobile accident, and he had something to do that he is having to see about that this afternoon. So I was hoping he'd get down here and get on the program today, but he wasn't able to. We have a reloading piece that flatly we don't have enough time for today, but if we are fortunate enough to get on again next week, we'd like to do that, because right now nobody knows what Bill Clinton and his other New World Order types are planning for us in the future. Nobody knows, and it might behoove a lot of us to have loading equipment, things that we could put our own cartridges together with, and I have a piece done up on that will be instructive, or give instructions, certainly, we think pretty well. Someone we want to mention this week, the Hunter Company. You know, leather, if you've priced anything leather recently, you know it is out of sight on cost. And this is the Hunter Company. They're in Colorado. They're actually in, how about Westminster, Colorado. And they sent us a holster to try, and their stuff is very reasonably priced. It is nicely made, so I'll see if I have that 800 number for them if you'd like one of their catalogs. Their number is, if I can get it quickly because we're short on time. Okay, 1-800-676-4868. Again, 1-800-676-4868, because they have a lot of holsters that it may be hard to find for certain models that may be difficult to come across. So anyway, wanted to mention that. And friends, remember our Gun on the Rights Association, because someone called on a radio show the other day and they said, Johnny, you know, we hear all this talk about what's wrong, about what needs to be done, and this was a woman who said, you know, she just didn't see the point in continuing to talk about this, because there's nothing, we keep losing and we keep talking about it, we keep losing. It's not entirely true, friends. It's not entirely true. We're not losing the whole thing. As you know, we fought back the Taggart legislation a couple of years ago. We helped get information out on this Executive Order 13083. We have had some smaller victories, but we're not going to win it all unless more people get involved with us. That's why we're trying so hard to get our Gun on the Rights Association get a little momentum underway, because, friends, let me tell you what. If we don't get more people involved, all is lost. All will be lost if we can't get more people involved. That's why we're here today. That's why we're talking about our new gun and cartridge, because we're trying to make money any way we can. That's the name of staying on television, is dollars. Let me give you our mailing address. The Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. That zip code is 71024. Please, please help us if you can. Even if we go off the air, we can get back on the air if we sell a few of these guns. Okay, I want to mention our support group. We have the Little River Trading Company with all kinds of Confederate memorabilia. Their number is area 502-522-6167. We have Steadcraft, a custom machine shop in Torrington, Connecticut. Their number is area 860-496-7001. We have Dennis Crocker, who is a firearms trainer in South Carolina, authorized to go throughout the state. His number is area 864-587-8722. We have custom leather work in saddlery in Denham Springs, Louisiana, all kinds of leather work. Their number is area 504-667-9225. We have Camouflage Technologies. They paint gun stocks. Their number is area 909-674-6488. We have Flying Horse Galleries, great artwork on the internet. They're at www.flyinghorse.net. And we have Bruce Warren with BC Armory in East Leroy, Michigan. Bruce's number, he does work on semi-automatic pistols and revolvers. His number is area 616-729-5508. Now, friends, let me tell you what. If we're fortunate enough to be here next week, we're going to have certainly some other features. But if we're not, that's just something we'll have to deal with. And this gun and cartridge combination is a way that we can hopefully make some headway for the whole thing we're doing, because that's all we lack is just money. That's all we lack. We got all the other tools. And listen, the other side, the people who want to disarm you and I, we're very, very dangerous to those people. Now, how could a tiny company like us be dangerous to the anti-gun crowd? Simply because we're telling the truth. They're terrified of us, friends, of you and I out here telling the truth. That's why we're trying to stay here. If we're on next week, we'll be on G6 Channel 11. Our gospel show, if we're on next week, will be on G6 Channel 5. And please remember, we're still going to be on the radio. The radio show is on the American Freedom Network, on SpaceNet 4, Channel 19, 5.82 audio, from noon to 2 o'clock on Sundays. Friends, please let us hear from you. If you can donate to help us stay on the air, please do. We need your help. We hope to see you on the next program.
Let's shoot. We've got 4 loads developed for it. We've got a 200 grain bullet. Let's shoot the 200 next and see what it does in the chronograph. Okay, we're talking about 1,431 feet per second with a 200 grain bullet. And now let's try our 230 grain bullet, which normally you see about 800 or so feet per second. Let's look at the chronograph again. 1,322 feet per second with a 230 grain bullet. And now, friends, let's try our defense load, which is a 185 grain bullet. In this gun, it kicks like a hot 9mm, but let's see how fast it runs. A 185. Let's see. Let's go to our chronograph. Okay, 1,367. My goodness, friends, you realize that's well over 700, closer to 750 foot-pounds of muzzle energy from our light-kicking defense load.